Story of the name Dylan. Many people are familiar with the name Dylan in the Western world. It may be assumed Dylan is a relatively recent name with the amount of current stars, such as Dylan O'Brien, Dylan Sprouse, and even the legend Bob Dylan. In fact, the most common Welsh boy name as recent as 2010 was Dylan. The name, though, was brought to prominence in modern times by the late great poet Dylan Thomas from 1940s and 50s, with Bob Dylan, Robert Zimmerman, adopting his name as a tribute. But the origins run deeper. A quick Google search will bring you baby name sites and go on to tell you the name Dylan is of Welsh origin. One of the earliest written document containing the name Dylan comes from the old Welsh prose stories, the Mabinogion, dated from 1350 to 1410, and in particular the fourth branch of the Mabinogi, the story of Math. In Math Fab Mathonwy, it is told that Dylan's great-uncle Math would die if he did not keep his feet in the lap of a virgin when not at war. Math's original footholder, Gwyn, is raped by Gylfethwy, who is punished severely when Math returns, turning Gylfethwy and Gwydion into a series of mated pairs of animals. After Math's punishment ended, he sought advice on who should be the next virgin footholder. Gwydion suggested his sister, Arianrhod, but she was not a virgin. When asked to prove her virginity by stepping over Math's rod, she unexpectedly gave birth to a son. Ashamed, Arianrhod fled, leaving behind what appeared to be a lump of flesh. Gwydion took this lump, concealed it in a chest, and later discovered it had transformed into a second child. Meanwhile, Arianrhod's firstborn son was acknowledged by his great-uncle Math and named Dylan during his baptism. However, when Dylan touched the baptismal waters, he transformed into a sea creature and swam as gracefully as any fish. This earned him the name Dylan Eil Don, meaning Dylan's second wave. Diving deeper, there appears even earlier mentions, excerpts from contended 6th century bard Taliesin. One God supreme, divine, the wisest, the greatest his habitation, when he came to the field, who charmed him in the hand of the extremely liberal, or sooner than he, who was on peace on the nature of a turn. An opposing groom, poison made, a wrathful deed, piercing Dylan, a mischievous shore, violence freely flowing, wave of Iwerden, and wave of Manow, and wave of the north, and wave of Prydain, hosts comely in fours. I will adore the Father God, the regulator of the country, without refusing. Creator in heaven, may he admit us into merry. If the scholarly consensus is correct, and the earliest mention of the name Dylan comes from Taliesin, that means it actually came from historic Reged, modern-day North England and Low Scotland, and was first composed in the extinct Cumbric language before being adapted to Welsh. The name, Welsh, Dylan W, likely combines dy, meaning off or away in Proto-Celtic, with lan W, meaning tidal flow, reflecting the concept of water and floods. This connection is shared with Gaelic Irish words like tuin, signifying the water edge. Dylan could therefore be a relic compound of pre-Celtic dii flanus, the ebbing deluge, the surging billow, the returning tide. The name Dylan's associations with the sea, water, and the ancient Celtic and Brittonic cultures of the British Isles make it a name with broader British origins. While it has become well known in Wales and is often associated with Welsh culture today, its historical usage and significance extend beyond Wales. Understanding the name Dylan's historical and cultural depth enriches our appreciation of its heritage. So, what's the story of the name Dylan? No one knows for sure, but it's perhaps much older than 600 AD and possibly dates back to 1000 BC. The name Dylan's presence in early Celtic texts and its association with the sea likely reflect the importance of maritime life in the ancient Celtic world.